Hey Fasting Fam, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Chelly and I am a registered nurse turned health and wellness coach. And on this channel, I talk about losing weight and getting healthy with alternate day fasting, as well as healthy lifestyle modifications. And if you're interested in working one-on-one with me to get your health journey started, check out the links in the description box to sign up for your one-on-one consult. And if you're not quite ready for that yet, get your free alternate day fasting guide by joining our newsletter and our private Facebook group. And in today's video, I'm sharing 5 micro habits that I have personally incorporated into my life that if you give them a chance, you can see your mind, your body, and your life do a complete overhaul and transformation. All right, you ready? Let's get to it. So I think one of the biggest things to talk about before jumping straight to the practicals, the actionable items that you can do right now, is discussing why is it that many of us struggle to stick with our goal. For instance, myself as an example, before losing 60 plus pounds with alternate day fasting and incorporating some healthy lifestyle changes, moving more, eating whole foods, sleeping more, decreasing stress, I struggled for 8+ years. I'm talking about the previous 8 years, my weight stayed above 200 pounds and most likely was somewhere around the 220, 230 mark until I just lost complete control, gave up on myself, and let my weight balloon up to 242 pounds. And if you're watching this, you may be struggling with your weight and you may have tried just about everything and struggled to stay consistent. And so I think it's super important to address why is it so hard to stick to your weight loss goals, stick to your workout routines, what gets in our way. Most people severely overestimate what they can do in a couple of weeks, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a couple of months. I'm personal proof of that. In large part, it's the mindset. We really have to hone in and focus on what is the issue at hand, who do we want to be, and how do we get there? We have to answer that question first before we can start making a plan to reach our weight loss or our health goals. Personally, I had to decide if I wanted to spend the rest of my life on high blood pressure medicine, if I wanted to spend the rest of my life struggling to climb up a flight of stairs, feeling like I didn't have enough energy to engage with my children, or feeling like I didn't want to go out and enjoy life because I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I also wanted to be the kind of woman who could respect myself. And to me, self-love is a form of self-respect. And so when you have that why and you shift your mindset and you focus on what it is that you actually want, and I mean you truly want it, and you're willing to do what it takes to reach your weight goal, to get your health in order, that is the shift that is needed to implement a plan to actually reach the goal. You have to be committed and you have to be willing to do what it takes. So it wasn't just an issue of motivation, because sometimes relying simply on motivation, you may not want to work out, you may not want to fast today, but when you have your mindset and understanding why are you alternate day fasting, why are you embarking on this long journey to get to the other side, and what's at the other side of it for you. And now getting into the meat of it, you don't have to change everything all at once. And this is a micro habit shift that can truly make you feel at peace with taking small steps to reach your ultimate weight loss or health goals. One thing that I personally struggled with for years was trying to do too much at once. So I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to have a new workout routine, go to the gym. I wanted to start doing meal prep because I watched some cool videos and I wanted to have those fancy containers and portion everything out. I also wanted to become more spiritual and start journaling. And so all of these things just got me so overwhelmed. And then I wanted to throw alternate day fasting in there with that. So it just didn't work out. For me, it was just like a big mountain that I had to climb. Instead, as I worked my way up and started incorporating one shift at a time, I was gradually able to get into alternate day fasting, see sustainable results and weight loss, and move forward without feeling so overwhelmed, without feeling like I was failing if I wasn't doing everything. And so just changing one thing is also a micro habit that can propel you on your way to reaching your weight loss goals. So if you're struggling with energy, one little micro shift that you can do is try to get more sleep. Try to aim for the 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you are struggling with your weight loss, then try to change just that one thing. Try to focus on eliminating junk food, incorporating more whole foods, gradually increasing your fasting window, and then getting into alternate day fasting step by step. And then a big one for me was managing stress. So if stress is your issue, how about taking a few minutes a day to practice mindfulness, journaling, deep breathing, walking outside for a few minutes, standing up, stretching, and you'll be surprised how those tiny changes have a big impact over time. Another micro habit that I started personally doing was establishing some non-negotiables. Before I started alternate day fasting, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 36-hour fasting, if you're new to it, I was just all over the place. Like, I would walk one day, not walk the next. I'd eat healthy one day and then splurge and binge the next day. I just had no system, no plan, and I didn't have non-negotiables, things that I do every single day, no matter what, whether I'm fasting, whether I'm not fasting. A huge non-negotiable for me was getting my water. I'll have around 120 ounces, give or take, per day, maybe even more when I'm fasting and I'm drinking more tea, more coffee, and that's around 3 to 3.5 liters. And you have to listen to your body, but that's a big one for me. And that also helps me be more consistent with alternate day fasting. Another huge one is I am moving every single day. I mean, we're all busy, but I'm not going to compromise on that. I am moving my body a minimum of 30 minutes a day. And that's just if I have an incredibly busy day, but oftentimes it's way more than that. I'm getting 10,000, 12,000 plus steps, especially on weekends. So moving your body is so important. Even if you can only do the 20 to 30 minutes, walk outside after work, or if you prefer to go to the gym, or you walk during your lunch hour, getting your movement is going to make fasting so much more sustainable for you because you're staying busy. And it's also going to have lasting health impacts with just keeping you energized, getting you out to get some sunlight. So those are huge ones for me. So another self-care micro habit that is huge for me that I implemented that completely transformed my health, my mood, my energy, it set the tone for my day, was establishing, along with alternate day fasting, establishing a morning and an evening routine for myself. How we start the morning can really impact the rest of our days. So for me, before doing alternate day fasting, I always woke up feeling groggy from having a bad night's sleep, heavy, tossing and turning, not sleeping well. And then I would get up and just feel unrested, unwell, frustrated that I had to go about the day when I wasn't rejuvenated. And so I just kind of wake up, drink as much coffee as I could, as fast as I could, just so that I can hurry up, get dressed, and leave out the house or get to whatever I had to do. Well, I started incorporating, along with ADF, mindfulness. So when I got out of bed, the first thing that I would do in the morning, instead of, just rushing to down coffee, I'd get up and I'd go straight for my water. I'd have my water bottle filled up at night, my big, large 120 ounce water bottle that I got off Amazon, and I'd have that filled the night before, so that when I got up, I could just go straight to drinking water. That would wake me up, help me feel refreshed. Then I'd step out into the backyard. And if you personally, let's say you're in an apartment, you have a balcony, you can step out there and get some fresh air. It can be anything that works for you that helps boost your mood, so that your morning you start off feeling rejuvenated and you have a moment to yourself before you have to get to the craziness of the world or work or whatever you have to do for that day. But personally, I would drink my water. I step outside. If it was sunny, I'd get some sun, but I wake up early, so sometimes there wasn't any sun, but still, I'd wake up, I'd take some deep breaths. After having my water, I'd walk like one lap around my backyard, then I'd come in, I stretch, and just generally wake up. And then I'd go to having my coffee. And while my coffee the water was boiling, I'd get my journal, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time, and this is all happening within the first 15 minutes or so of waking up. And then when I made my coffee, I'd be writing down in my journal, how did I sleep? How was my energy? I'd write down little quick things that I needed to do for the day, because that helped me get grounded and centered. And I remember I'd be rushing to drink my coffee before, and I'd be scrolling on my phone, getting myself stressed out with emails. And then after doing that right in the morning, I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat something. And so that made it really hard for me to stay consistent with ADF in the beginning, because I was not structuring my environment and my habits around me doing ADF. And so that's a big challenge that I hear a lot of times, and one that I face myself. So these tiny self-care micro habits might seem like, journaling or, stretching first thing. Who has time for that? If you want to be consistent, stick with ADF and see those lasting changes. It requires not only, not eating every other day or 36-hour fasting, but it's a whole lifestyle shift. And I think gradually, as you continue to do it, you'll realize more and more that you want to do these positive, healthy habits that help you stay more consistent. Another big thing, along with a morning habit, I guess I can call it an afternoon habit, was incorporating daily, afternoon walks or just quick stand and stretch breaks while I was working. So a big thing for me that would get me super stressed out, especially when I was working from home, is constantly sitting all day. It causes so many problems for me. And if you're like me and you have days where you are maybe, sedentary or working from home in an office or anything that has you staring at a computer, like many of us, it can be very stressful. So I started incorporating little stand and stretch breaks. So every hour I was at my desk, I'd stand up at least once. And this can be done more than every hour, but at a bare minimum, I'm never sitting more than an hour at a time. And again, that's kind of long. So you can do this every 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but it really just depends on what makes sense for your life, your work day, your schedule. But I started incorporating stand breaks. And then for lunch, I'd step out, and even if it was 10 or 15 minutes that I had, at least I felt like I was doing something to work towards my goal of losing weight and feeling better and having more energy. So instead of just sitting and spending my entire lunch break eating, I split that in half. I'd have a light lunch, and then I'd walk outside even 10, 15 minutes. The light and the sunlight does wonders. So incorporating those midday stretch breaks and brief walks, it was simply about me managing stress, boosting my mood and energy throughout the day. And lastly, I established an evening or nighttime self-care routine so that I could get a good night's sleep. So establish those little self-care routines for yourself, those minor habit shifts that are going to help you stay more consistent, not only with ADF, but with your health practices that you do to help you maintain your health long term. And I saved the best for last because this was a major one for me. And this one is positive self-talk. So I used to be one of those people that would be like, whatever, I never really believed in the positive affirmations. Just, I don't know, that could have just been from me, just having a sense of if you're humble, then you shouldn't just be, looking in the mirror and saying, I'm awesome, or, I'm lovely and all those things. So I think a lot of it stemmed from that. But the more and more I started to work on myself and lose weight with alternate day fasting and incorporate all these healthy lifestyle changes that made me feel energized and good about myself and feel like I can do this, I started speaking more kindly to myself, more positively. I started reaffirming who I am and discovering who I am. And I started believing I can do this. I deserve to put myself first. I remember before ADF and starting on my own health journey, I would say things like, I'm not a morning person. You can do whatever you want. So the things that we tell ourselves are so powerful. I remember I would eat pizza and I would say things like, I don't like salads. I don't eat that. And it's just amazing how in a matter of 5.5 months that I've been able to incorporate tiny little habits that help me ultimately get to this place that I'm at now. So the things that we tell ourselves, the thoughts that we, put in our mind, they become who we are. It's kind of like the self-fulfilling prophecy. So the biggest thing of all was just going through that identity shift where I say to myself, I do get up early. I'm the kind of woman who gets up early, and gets to business, gets to working out or walking outside or journaling or stretching, doing the things to show myself love and take care of myself. I am the kind of person that is not going to not show up for myself. I'm not going to skip the things that are helping me to lose weight, stay healthy, and feel good. And those little habit shifts and self-care routines that I implemented helped me feel like I was showing myself love and de-stressing at the end of the day, and they helped me stay more consistent, boosted my mood, and as a result, my health as well, and my willingness to stick with my health plan. So get those systems down for yourself, and you'll be surprised how little by little, as you start incorporating these small changes, how they can have compounding effects, and before you know it, you'll be where you want to be. You'll feel happy, energized, and then you'll reach your weight loss and your health goals, because ultimately that's what it's about. Just remember, you don't have to do everything all at once. It's those small, tiny changes and habits that, when done consistently, are going to lead to big results. So if you liked today's video, you got some value from it, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button to join the Fast Life family, and check out the links in the description box. And until next time, Fasting Fam, I'll see you. Bye.